delighted to be asked to do this talk on AI in sport, looking at the solutions and gimmickry attached to the domain. And whether we like it or not, AI is going to be part of our present and very much part of our future. So just to give you a bit of context of the growth in this area, Facebook has spent 10.5 billion purchasing 350,000 NVIDIA H100 GPUs because it wants to train its own AI models. So Facebook has access to a whole range of your data. And that is the real crux of artificial intelligence, is the quality of the data that it has been trained on. And fortunately within the EU there is frameworks that prevent the wholesale access of personal information and personal data, but that is not consistent across the globe. So in terms of the segments that I want to focus on here, before I get into some of the AI tools in particular for the individuals. So this is where the AI in sport has its greatest level of proliferation. So it's across areas like talent identification, acquisition, game analytics, training and coaching, predictive modeling, strategy improvements, injury prevention, fan engagement, and immersive experiences. And these are where the data has been residing over the last 10 or 15 years. And companies are either starting up in this environment or they are utilizing their existing data sets to move into this space using tools that are readily available to them. When we look at the organization, and you as a sporting organization, what is it that you can leverage? And in terms of what's taking place is we have this growth in data and the growth in data centers, because it is the tools in our hands that are going to be one of the major drivers. Whilst those segments that I spoke about previously, they're going to capture a lot of the media inches, and they're going to be potentially household names into this AI of the future. It is it is the back end of the organizations we're going to see the biggest change. The mundane tasks, the chatbots, the virtual assistants, they're going to be the ones that are going to have the biggest impact. So this is an extract from
Redefine business processes with Copilot Studio. Create copilots that act as agents, working independently for you. Simply describe what you want your copilot to do. Easily configure your copilot with the details it needs, like instructions, triggers, knowledge, and actions. Copilot can learn from feedback to improve. And you're always in control. Put Copilot to work for you.
So Microsoft have ownership of or have ownership of the ChatGPT tools, and they've developed a solution called Copilot, which puts assistance in the palm of your hands to create automations and to create tools that allow you to take ownership of your schedule, take ownership of your processes. So in terms of Copilot, if we're writing and creating information, what's really important for these tools is that you provide contextual details, so that if you have reference material, if you have desired outcomes, what are the parameters that you require, and be as specific as possible. So if I'm just going to share a video of you with you in terms of a Copilot prompt that I undertook earlier today. So this is my Copilot interface. So I'm just going to ask it to write a report for me on sports tech. And what I'm asking it to do is to be very specific in terms of the length of the information, be very specific in how I want it framed. So for in this instance, I wanted 500 words max, and I wanted have a touch of humor in it, in that report. And it takes note of that information, and the more information you feed it, the better the response will be. One of the reasons that I like Copilot is that it allows the referencing of the information that it pulled from. Luma is a very good tool for creating, and this is text to video, creating a video based on text content. So this is a video that Luma has created around an environment in space. The problem with any of these tools, if you go in and you try and create, let's say I wanted to create a drone flying over Ireland, for example, or a drone flying over France, it will base it on the images that is available to it. So if you throw in something that it doesn't have within its database, that creates problems for the artificial intelligence. So if I'm looking at the tools that we can use, in terms of key tools, Copilot is, for me, it's a really good one, and it is one that I use regularly. It is, you can use ChatGPT or any other derivatives. There's a whole range of companies that are forming that in some instances have a ChatGPT wraparound. Others have developed their own models and their own tools to be able to engage with the technology. The other really good tools are Writesonic and Replit. So in terms of Copilot, Copilot is something that I use on a very regular basis. I get asked to write a CV, or not asked to write a CV, but asked to write a reference, and I will use, if I want to have derivatives of it, I will have a standard template, and I may use Copilot to help flesh out that request. Other tools that I find quite good are Replit and Luma in terms of generating video. So for you as a consumer of sport, as a participant in sport, as somebody working in grassroots organizations, you are incredibly time poor, and AI can help increase your value in terms of how you engage with your audience, engage with your participants within your sporting organizations by creating efficiencies, by creating automations, whether that be through a Copilot automations or a ChatGPT and a Zapier integration. It can create immersive experiences potentially, but it is one that can create value. If you choose not to take that pathway, it is important to be cognizant that your competitor probably is taking that pathway because of just how it can be leveraged. The real challenge for me as somebody who uses the technology quite a lot is, if I have a problem, I like to have a human interface that I can help solve it. Because of the data that some of these models are built on, the human interface is incredibly valuable. And rather than taking people's jobs, I see that it's going to increase the job market considerably. That in no instance in human history do we see this loss of labor. We have seen, as society has grown, we have seen jobs that have been growing, that have come out of the woodwork in the last 10 years. Who would have ever thought that you could make a living from TikTok? But these tools can help individuals take ownership and create value, and sporting organizations are no different. With that in mind, there is a real importance of oversight of artificial intelligence, especially with the rights of the individual and the data requirements that sporting organizations have. The information that you have is very valuable, and the access to the population is extremely valuable. and it is taking precautions to protect that information and protect that data, that you don't just plug in a ChatGPT wraparound in terms of your interface with your community, because you don't know where that data is going to end up. And it's really important that you have an ownership of that data, and that you have appropriate data governance. And broadly, as a society, we have to have oversight on this, because there are really nefarious utilizations, but there are really positive utilizations of the technology also. There are challenges within that in terms of the learning journey, and to embrace that learning journey, there is a whole range of tools available. So in terms of the online resources, these are the three entities that are driving that are some of the driving forces within this AI space. So Microsoft have 7 free AI courses that you can take to better understand AI, and to better understand how we can leverage AI in the domain, in your own domain. Because when we talk about AI in sport, it won't be the companies that I spoke about previously. They're going to dominate the headlines, but it is our day-to-day tasks where the real value will be created, whether that is creating content, editing images, editing video. That's where the real power will take hold of how we utilize that technology. So Microsoft, NVIDIA, and AWS have really good courses that will help you understand and learn the tools, learn the use of these large language models and the AI tools that are available to you.